Well, Preece coming into this one, Tamworth, they were unbeaten in 13 and conceded a goal in over 900 minutes, but 3 points against the league leaders on a Tuesday night. Talk us through it.
Well, we knew it was going to be really tough. They're top of the league for a reason. They're very good at what they do, and they're not. I think there's a lot of disrespectful words being talked about Tamworth and being one-dimensional and being direct, and I just think they play to their strengths. But they've got good players in their team. The two wide players are really good. They're way better technically than what they're given credit for. The midfielders can play, so they're top of league because they're the best team in the league, and they play a style that wins them games of football. And I think I think some of the criticism. Well, I don't think it's criticism. I just think a bit of sour grapes maybe from teams in the league. Managers done fantastically well. The players have done fantastically well. Today we've played really well in the first half. They've struggled a little bit to get a foothold in the game. The manager's saying we haven't started. We could have been more up, but they showed in the last 5 minutes what they're about. They don't give up, and then they started putting us under pressure. They won a few corners and put some long throws in. Then they recycled it and then put quality delivery back in. And we had to defend for our lives in that last 5 minutes. And I think that was a key part of the game, is that we kept them out and managed to get in, regroup, talk about how well we'd done, talk about one or two things that we possibly could improve on, and set ourselves, some goals in the second half. And look, we rode our luck at times. There's no doubt about that. Max has pulled off some great saves, but I still think over the period, over the whole game, I think we deserve to win the game. We had some great opportunities to score more goals, and look, it's really tough when you're playing against such a good side, and you need to ride your luck. You need sometimes for it to hit the post. You need sometimes for rebounds to land at you and not them. But there's a lot of preparation and a lot of skill and a lot of desire that goes into making sure that you get those blocks and you win those second balls, and the headers are not clean headers. So instead of them putting in the back of the net, they're heading it and maybe hitting the post, or they're heading it and Max is able to save it. That's not luck. That's because we've worked hard and we prepared really well. So I'm really pleased for the lads for the desire and effort they put in on the back of so many games in such a short period of time, in tough conditions. And you're always under pressure when you need in these sort of games where you're fighting to stay in the playoffs when there's so many teams around you that can get in there. Credit to the players, their desire, their fitness levels are a joke, an absolute joke. And credit to all of them, the way they look after themselves, and they get the just rewards today.
We were always really going to be needing to be proper at it from minute one tonight, and I think we were. And we had a little spell in the first half where we probably did ride our luck a little bit. Max, a couple of brilliant saves, one tipping onto the bar, one onto the post, and they just kept flying at us, corner after corner. They were really putting everything on us, but we dealt with it, and I think that was a testament to how strong the lads were tonight.
Yeah, look, we've had tests like that before. We had Alfreton put us under a fair bit of pressure, and we stood up to that. And I think that was probably a turning point for us in standing up to that pressure, and coming through that. I think that gives you confidence that you can do it. And if, you could just see, lads organising in it. With Noello, with his experience on the pitch, I thought Willow and Harvey, really stood up and were counting today. And then around them, Blake's was magnificent. Justin coming in for his debut. I thought he was excellent as well. And I can go through the whole team. I can't think of anybody who didn't perform again. And it was the same on Saturday. Everybody's playing around an 8, and once we do that, then we're a tough side to beat. It's going to take teams to be at their very, very, very best, to beat us. And at the minute, and if we can continue that, then we're going to put ourselves in a really strong position.
Yeah, you do get the odd game where it comes down to an individual moment, but tonight was a really strong team performance. And looking at the squad this evening, it was as strong as it's probably been all season long. Every player was a senior player, including all outfield players on the bench, and that must be a big boost to yourself and your staff to be able to put a team out like that and the competition for places as well.
Yeah, look, we've had a small squad all season. We've managed to deal with that. Lads have had to work so hard and play so many minutes. Today, I was able to give Ennis a rest. Because he's sort of in that red zone of 3 games in a week when he's got injured. So he's managed to rest him, and Justin come in and did great. Again, Glennie has not played 3 games in a week for 5 months. Again, it's high risk if we played him. We still had to take risks with 1 or 2, that are tired. Carlton's tired. Sampo's second game in a short period of time. So there's still things that we probably wouldn't want to do ideally, but the squad's is looking a lot stronger at this minute in time. But it's still young. It's still a young squad. We say experience, but you have a look at Frankie and George. They're only 18, 19. Got a lot of lads who are around 22, 23, 24. So they're still learning. And then when you can bring on someone like Ello for the last 8 minutes with his experience, that's invaluable for us. So at the minute, the squad's in a good place. We're now looking at maybe we've got 18, which is probably, like you say, for the first time this season, where 1 or 2 may not make the bench, but the illness is still around. No Joe Nolan, no Billy. No, those 2 were both ill today, so we've still got that to contend with. So we've got to be careful, and we are being careful, but it's just something that's hitting us, and to keep getting the results that we are, it's great, and it's great to be the manager of those lads, because they do us proud every week.
We've had another one of those runs as well. I think 7 home games in a row, and we've won 6 home league games in a row. Just a word I think worthy more than anything else for our ground staff, who've done absolutely brilliantly well. I'm sure you'll agree, to get that game on this evening.
It was the pitch was in a really good condition, considering how it was on Saturday. How he got it back to the condition that he did for today's game, and then we had everybody will know how much it rained around 4:30 for an hour. It just never stopped raining, and look, it was in doubt. It needed pitch inspection. Credit to the referee, because he probably could have called it off at the point when he came, but we knew it was going to be dry. Ground staff got on it and made sure there was no standing water. And fair play to Tamworth. They never grumbled. They never looked like they wanted the game off. They wanted to play the game. So credit to them. And then, look, the pitch played all right. It was sticky and it was tough, and but it probably played better again than Saturday. And we found a way again to win on the pitch. And again, we played some good football. It wasn't just like booted it forward and open for the best. There was some decent passage of play by both teams. So yeah, credit to Stu and all his team. And now he gets a breather for 10 days to get it ready for Rushall. So yeah, great day for everybody.
Like you say there at the end, a 10-day rest now, but no rest for us, unfortunately. A long trip this weekend down to Stansted to face Bishop Stortford, and we're going to need every one of those members of the squad for that one.
Yeah, again, see how people come out, lads come out of that game, and go to, a tough place to go to. 1 for the travelling, 2 that they have had some good results there. Beat Aldershot 6-0 in the trophy. that takes some doing. Aldershot, I think Aldershot in the playoffs, you know, the same as Solihull, and we saw how good Solihull were. So you don't take any team lightly in this league. It'll be as tough a game that we've had all season, and we've got to be mentally tuned in. We've got to prepare right, which we will, and you know, get ready for a tough game. But we're going to enjoy the last 2 or 3 weeks of performances and the results we've had, because it's been a fantastic period for us. And then, you know, we regroup and then go again. And fantastic that so many fans turned up tonight, because you know, it was one of those iffy ones. Do I go? Don't I go? And again, after the game, they were absolutely buzzing. You know, we are putting some big smiles on a lot of people's faces at the minute, and they deserve it, because you know, they've had to, how many, I don't know how much it would have cost them if they come to every game, but it's a lot of money at a tough time. So thank you to them for coming and making the atmosphere, and I'm sure they were glad they were here tonight.